And now, welcome to the Great Cigar and Pipe Show. Presented by Hiram and Solomon Cigars. And also the Oliva Cigar family. Coming to you live from the Corona Cigar Company studios.
I am a blues man. I live this life.
And we're here.
We are here.
Hey, what's happening?
I wish everybody could have seen what happened before the show.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Because it was very interesting having everybody here, Brad and JB and the guys over at FEW, and Ron and Joe and Frankie F struggling. Let's see if they're okay. Let's bring them on.
Ronnie was just giving head.
No, definitely not okay. Definitely not okay.
So Frankie F can't hear.
Very far from okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we always knew you weren't all right in the head. So, I mean,
let's not state the obvious, but welcome aboard, everybody.
Welcome
We're
aboard. It's good. I don't see Ronnie, which is actually a pleasant sight. I don't have to see. Well,
Ronnie's here.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Bald head.
I have to squeeze in here, okay, guys?
We're trying to get this board situation figured out.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm trying to get Frank in there right now.
Well, good thing Frankie F can't hear us, so we can make fun of him.
I can hear you.
Oh,
I can hear you though.
all
Right.
right.
Okay. He just can't speak. You know,
That's okay. Speak
yeah.
loudly. Scream into Joe's ear.
Yeah, just scream it. His mic.
Just share
Sure, let
the
me
mic with
switch.
Joe.
Hang
Just
on.
share it.
That's why you got to love live shows. See, Brad and JB do things right. They
Yeah.
record everything
Okay.
and then put it out.
I think I have a solution. We'll do this. We'll share our
Hello
microphone.
there.
Hey.
Oh. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute?
Oh, well, we're back, folks. It's another pairing episode with
Yeah.
Joey G, and we're looking forward to this because this is going to be an interesting one, Joe. Since we're all kind of smoking something different paired with something.
Right.
And drinking something different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I asked Bradley which cigar he wanted to feature, he sent me like 10 different cigars. So I just put the idea in my head to, let's just do a bunch of different Zeal house brands on the show, and we're going to feature FEW's bourbon.
Nice.
With it's the Twisted Fate cigar is the one that's going to be featured in the magazine for the pairing article.
Gotcha.
Which is going to be on whiskey-network.net. It'll publish the beginning of next year, January 3rd, I would imagine. But tonight we're going to just pair a bunch of different Zeal house brands together. I'm going to be doing the King's Comeback. Ronnie's going to be doing the King's Envy. Frank, you're doing
Primordial Habano.
the Primordial Habano.
Right.
And we're all drinking the FEW bourbon.
Nice.
Tonight.
We're gonna.
And Teresa's on board now.
Sorry, folks, an individual came
Yeah.
screaming in out of her mind, you know?
You got to close your doors there, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I know, anybody can walk in this place. I tell
Nothing
you.
like live audience.
Boy, oh
Live
boy, oh boy.
Well,
So
maybe what,
yeah.
Joe? Do you want to bring Brad and JB on here before we bring our guests? And how do you want to work it? I'm going to let you be in charge. You
Oh,
you
don't
really
put
want
him
me
in
in
charge.
charge of this?
Oh, my
Don't put him in
We
charge.
can't even get Frank on. Right.
Wow.
Well,
Last time we put Joey in charge, the Christmas tree came down. Okay.
Right. Yes. Let's just let's wait till after the first round of sponsorship. We'll bring everybody on board.
that sounds like
So you'll find my pairing review articles on whiskey-network.net. In the lifestyle section, drop down to the Sips and Stogies section. Throughout the year, I do 12 to 15 pairings throughout the year. At the end of the year, I usually announce one of the cigars being the Whiskey Network Cigar of the Year. I'm not going to announce which cigar it is, but I will give you my top 5 right now, and in no particular order. And obviously, the Zeal cigars can't be considered yet. They'll be considered for next year, since that'll publish next year. It's all the publications from this year. It's going to be the top 5 are going to be Sanj Patel's SB10 Black.
Mm-hmm.
The SP 1014, right? The black.
1014 black, yep.
It's the Don Patron Oro line from Lampert Cigars.
Nice.
The Don V Maduro from Oscar Valladares and Vic Shaw at Norwood Royal Cigars. And also the Act 1 from Noble Cigars. Those are going to be considered for the Whiskey Network Cigar of the Year. That'll publish on December 18th. It's a Monday, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so tonight we have FEW. We're going to be featuring their bourbon tonight.
Yep.
Nice.
Like they have a really cool backstory as far as the origins of their distillery, and
yes, I might have something to intro them with, Joe.
Okay, very cool. Very cool backstory. I'm very excited to have these guys on board. I always am at their table at these whiskey festivals, and their representatives are just so knowledgeable and so willing to give out the information that we're looking for as whiskey enthusiasts. So yeah, that's what we got going on tonight. Everybody's gonna be smoking something different. So we'll interject some tasting notes on the cigars, the whiskey, however pairing is going, and we'll get to know our guests. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice, very nice,
Good,
Joe. You know what, Joe? That's probably the best intro that you've ever done on the show. So it only took you like 2 years. It only took you 2 years. You've done good. I'm proud of you, Joe. I am.
Yeah. Oh, it took me 2 years. You know, I'm a late bloomer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know. So. You know,
all right. Perfect. So I think we'll go to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll have.
Hopefully, we won't see Ronnie's head the
anymore.
whole show.
Well, yeah. Well, we might.
We back this up a little bit.
And we'll be right back, folks. Right after these words.
This industry is steeped in family and tradition. You know, there's generational stuff, and I see it over and over. And yet, no, I didn't come from that. Being the outsider looking in, I got to ask all the silly questions, and people were very accepting to want to give me all the right answers. I'm very thankful for those people who kind of allowed me to come in. Now with Alec and Bradley in the business, to have our company become generational, that's pretty cool.
Welcome to GTO Dominican Cigars, a boutique cigar company that artfully blends and creates some of the finest handmade puros from the Cibao Valley in the Dominican Republic. We are fourth-generation manufacturers and growers of tobacco with over 140 years of experience, offering a variety of styles, blends, and strengths. Mild, medium plus, and full-bodied. We would truly consider it an honor for you to experience our cigars. Those who know smoke GTO.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Years in the making, the Chief cigar was born, blended, boxed, and released to market on June 26, 2015. This cigar was developed by former fire chief, firefighter, cigar aficionado Ken Dorbecker, and has grown into a signature Firehouse cigar line. Including, of course, the Chief, a Nicaraguan Habano blend, Proby, a Connecticut Shade blend, All Hands, a Maduro Mexican San Andreas box press, and the brand new Fire Pole, a beautifully crafted San Andreas Habano barber pole. Join the Chief family and make us part of your humidor. R&A Treasures, out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
we come.
And we
All right, so
are
I
back.
think I only named 4 cigars. So the 5th one is going to be the Educator by Ancestry Cigars. If you guys,
Oh, nice. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that. That was a great.
yeah. So those are the top 5 cigars that'll be considered for the cigar of the year for 2023.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's bring everybody to the stage, as they like to say. Oh, look who's there.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on?
Hey.
We got Bradley Reith and Justin JB Burnett from Zeal
going on?
Cigars. What's going on, guys?
Not much. We're excited to be here. It's like
Absolutely.
smoking cigar with like about 5 drunk uncles. It's been really, really enjoyable.
Are we really that old? Are we really that much
You
older?
are, dude. You guys got to be a little bit older than me. I mean, I'm 32.
You're
You say
32, I'm
drunk
42
uncles.
then. Yeah, all right, let's go with that.
You say drunk uncles. I just say it's just another day at the Greek church.
Yeah, right.
Adigani, Sasso. Well, welcome
We're doing
aboard.
good. We're
Thank
good.
you so much for coming
Yeah,
on board. And we got another guy that's sitting somewhere
Yeah,
out
well, we
there in
got
the
to, where's
green
the
room.
FEW
We've got
crew?
we've got a couple of guys from. Let's get them on.
All right, we got Paul Hletko. He is the Master Distiller and founder at FEW.
Oh,
And
right
we
on.
have his partner in crime here, Riley Henderson. He's their cigar aficionado. Apparently, he's going to join us and give us some input as well. Welcome aboard, guys.
Wow.
Thanks, boys.
Should I do a little intro for the guys this way? You know,
Should you?
yeah.
Are you asking us? Just do it, big man. You got it.
let's do it. Hold on a second, folks. Check this out.
What if we told you this started in an alley, a mile into Chicagoland, by a man who decided to get back to the root of what mattered?
Prior to World War II, my grandfather's family owned a brewery that was confiscated in the war. After the war, my grandfather spent the rest of his life trying to get the brewery back, unsuccessfully. I started FEW Spirits in order to bring back this family legacy and to honor my grandfather's memory.
In order to make this all happen, he had to turn the tables of temperance. Before FEW opened in 2011, there had not been a single drop of alcohol made in Evanston, Illinois, ever.
One of the things that makes FEW special and unique is that we're a completely grain-to-glass distillery. So what that means is we're getting our grain in the door, we're mashing it ourselves, we're fermenting it, we're distilling it, we're throwing the juice into barrels at that point, we're letting it age, we're blending it with our palates, bottling it up, and then sending it to our fans all around the world.
Have there been struggles and mishaps? Of course there have. But that's the thing with the team at FEW. We work together and fix them every single time.
That's the spirit of Chicagoland and FEW. It's hard work, it's defying odds, it's remembering the past while getting to the future. It's building something to welcome others.
At FEW, we make whiskeys we want to share with our friends and family. Bold, American whiskeys that are non-traditional, and whiskeys that we're proud of.
At first, we weren't going to make a lot, but with the help of a few, we've now traveled beyond Chicagoland into hands around the world.
We owe this all to you, the drinker, and we thank you. We're going to keep on making FEW as long as you keep enjoying it.
That was very nice, Frank.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
well, I
Very
didn't
cool.
produce it. They did.
Yeah,
These
all
guys-
That was very nice of you to put that on.
It
That
is,
was very
and
nice.
you can see that when you visit their website. So it's a great website, by the way, very nicely done and laid out. Pleasure to meet you all.
Yeah.
You know,
glad to be here. Good
yeah.
to see you again, Joe.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. So let's just bounce right off that video and get into FEW just a little bit more. So, can we dive into that little backstory with the World War II and the brewery?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kind of growing up, I always kind of knew family history and family legacy because it was always kind of whispered or talked about. Grandpa would talk about it a little bit here and there. And then, it's just kind of one of those memories that you grow up with, like, oh, what if, or, this or that. But when he passed, that was just kind of a trigger that really got me thinking, hey, if I don't do something, it's gone forever. And so I did. And it turns out that I'm pretty lucky and I'm pretty good at making whiskey. But I'm even better at putting together a killer team of just amazing people like Riley and some of the people you saw in that video earlier. I texted Riley going, "Oh my God, Kaplan," because I missed that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, we just got a great team, and we're just really lucky to we make whiskey for a living. How bad can that get, right?
You can't get much better than that. Really.
Living.
Especially since you have to do all that tasting.
Yeah, there's everybody thinks it's glamorous until you have to get up at 5 a.m. to go do a barrel sampling and taste off 5 or 10, maybe even 15 cast strength of whiskeys before 6 a.m. Before your day even gets going. You're like, oh, this is not as glamorous.
I will gladly volunteer.
Joe's up for that task.
He might knock something
Yeah.
down.
But that's probably one of the hardest parts about it is finding the right people. Right, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it's when I started, it was just one. It was a one-person company, and I was alone. And everybody said, "Oh, the hardest part's going to be finding people." And I just kind of laughed them off. I'm like, "No, that'll be easy." And no, it is the hardest part is finding people, and so that's why it's we've been pretty lucky that we're able to get people like Riley, people who are aside from the fact he's an awesome dude, he's incredibly talented, he's smart, he's funny. He's the guy you want to hang out and smoke cigars with, which is actually how Riley and I first met. He was working at a cigar shop, and I'd go in and I'd smoke cigars, and I dug Riley. I'm like, "Oh, you're a cool dude." And then we were hiring, and he's like, "Would you talk to me?" I'm like, "Sure, that's pretty badass. You're a good dude."
Yeah, Paul's
Riley,
Paul's good at.
You look like the guy that fights the bear in that one commercial. I forget. You guys remember what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea what you're
the guy
talking about.
literally fights the bear.
But I appreciate that.
In the whiskey business, you're required to have a beard, so you got to go easy
I mean, this
on him.
guy's got whiskey and cigars written all over him, and
that's true.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about the bourbon.
Oh yeah, the bourbon is just a killer bourbon. Big, full flavored, spicy. We really think it kind of hits everything that most people really want in a bourbon. It's a bourbon, so you got some really good sweetness. We make it a really, really spicy bourbon to get a little bit of extra interest to make sure you get that nice pepper, some nice cinnamon. Make sure it tastes a little bit something. It's a little different than a lot of the other bourbons that are out there, and we think it's pretty awesome. Frankly, it goes great with a cigar.
Yeah, so I think yours probably smoking the Primordial Maduro, and then Riley. There was one that Bradley
I've
or
got
JB
the Maduro.
Got the Maduro, and then there was one that the tag was like ripped off, so I didn't really know what it was, but it's like pretty much the same size as and it looks like the same as the Primordial Maduro.
Yeah, this one didn't have a little strip on it.
Yeah, it was
hard to go wrong with a Maduro and a glass of bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're great together.
Absolutely.
I wish we could get the whiskey down here in Florida. For some reason, we can't get it here.
Oh, you can get it. It's all distributed by a company called Southern. So if you can't find it, you can either just tell your favorite retailer that Southern distributes it, or you can even go to online at buyfewspirits.com, and they'll ship it right to your front door.
Oh, can't be.
That's nice.
No,
wow.
We can't make it any easier than that.
No, not at all, not at all. Because we have the big Total Wine stores. Those big.
Total should carry us.
No, they didn't have it.
We didn't see it.
I was just there.
Nope. No, yeah, I went to Total. They didn't have it at all.
Nope.
I'll yell up my team then, because
yell, please.
Absolutely.
That's something I got a little bit of an issue with.
Yeah, no, they need to have it in the stores because we have a shit ton of bourbon on the shelves.
God,
I mean, we've been in Crown, we've been in ABC.
Okay.
We should be everywhere in Florida. So if we're not, I'll be having a phone call tomorrow that somebody's not going to like receiving.
Nice.
I like
Very
that.
good.
And if you think Paul's joking, he's not joking. He's going to be on that call.
That's cool. He should be. Yeah.
Hey, Brad, can you get it out in Arizona?
No, not that I know of. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
Arizona's also Southern.
Yeah, those fucking guys.
You got a problem with Southern distributing.
Yeah. Brad,
to be a fly on the wall when that call goes down.
So when I started writing for Whiskey Network magazine, I was very knowledgeable on the whiskey side of things. I pretty much knew nothing about cigars. So when I was volunteering to start writing whiskey and cigar pairing reviews, I had to kind of jump into what cigars were all about. And Bradley and JB, you guys are the guys that I watched to learn the basics. How to cut, light, and smoke. And you guys are obviously very entertaining. and I learned so much throughout the years, and wound up with these chooches somehow.
Yeah.
But so what's so tell us about the origins of Zeal Cigars and what the company represents.
Oh, okay. So everyone asked me, how do we name Zeal? I didn't even name it, to be honest with you. I had a employee at the time that were trying to figure out a name. It was actually going to be called Optimum Cigars at one point. And so yeah, that didn't roll off the tongue very well. And the employee had told me, they were like, dude, you're so full of passion and zeal and vigor. Why don't you just call it Zeal Cigars? I was like, you know what? It's not bad. I mean, graduation I'll be last, but other than that, let's see what happens. So it was named Zeal Cigars, and you guys know I was a pastor for probably 20 years, and there's one of my favorite verses is Zeal for the Lord will consume me. So I went ahead and did that. We called it Zeal Cigars. The family's on board with it, and you got us 5 years later now. So 5 years in March. I can hear you. I can hear somebody in the background. Okay.
It's longer than 5 years.
No, it's only been 5 years.
Bro, I've been here 4.
Yeah, I know. Just so you know. We started in 2019.
It's got to be at least 6.
Work your public school math magic.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm telling you. I was here before anyone else. I know. So 2019 is when we officially opened in March 2019.
Okay.
Gotcha. And then of course you got JB next to you. And is he the comic relief for you? It's like
he's the criticism. That's what he is.
Normally,
criticism.
Normally I'm the serious one. It kind of depends.
Yeah. He's more the.
I'm like, quit being a child, dude. Why are you get off of TikTok? Quit putting up videos.
First off, TikTok is way better than YouTube right now, and everybody knows that. Okay, because YouTube's so crazy with their cigar like Nazi stuff, right?
Oh, a lot of things are going crazy. Yes,
it's really
right.
It's really nuts.
Videos coming down left and right.
It is weird. It is weird because we got one more strike and they'll take our channel down. So it's a weird It's a weird thing. So like, we deal with this stuff, and I'm fully expecting by years in, they absolutely distinguish Zeal Cigars. I'm fully expecting it. So we got backup channels, we're at Rumble and everything else like that, but YouTube's a much better exposure for us, and so we got backup channels and all that good stuff. But we'll lose a lot of stuff and a lot of followers too. So when that happens, because people check us out once in a while, not all the time.
Do you back up all of your material? Because obviously everything that you guys do is all edited, right? I mean, you guys and that's a shit ton of work. I know it by
I edit everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Everything.
God bless you.
Yeah,
Literally.
everything I edit. So it's really from us doing it to finishing it on the computer and uploading it. It's all us. Yeah, nobody else does it. No one else touches it because I don't trust anybody else. To be honest with you,
I'm an editing nightmare for YouTube. I'm just saying that right
now. So and we have to watch what we say and all that kind of stuff. It's really stupid, man. It really is stupid. But I'm tired of dealing with all that.
It's all social media. It's all of it.
Tough. It's tough.
It is.
Instagram's getting bad too.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is ridiculous too.
Everybody's on the same bandwagon.
No, Instagram, they have a lot of commercials, and I used to just try to knock the commercial out.
Good luck with that.
No, but before I used to say it was spam, and I used to say, okay, we reviewed your comment and we agree. Now, no more. They say, no, we don't agree with you. So now I have to come up with some other thing about why I don't want to see these commercials. It's crazy.
It's the AI is taking over the world, so it's doing it through
Skynet, bro. Skynet, it's all happening.
Yep,
yeah, Skynet, man. Yeah.
It is.
Skynet will show up again.
And I don't know if you guys have seen this or watched any of the latest science reports, but science have found a metal that can self-repair itself on a microscopic level. Now, it isn't like you can take a knife to it and damage it and it'll come back to life. But on a microscopic level, it's like repairing itself. And they're trying to work the
RoboCop, huh?
No, not even RoboCop. This is Terminator. This is start of Terminator.
Right.
Wow.
So they're trying to up this and like turn it into a larger scale. And all I'm thinking about is like, no, don't do that because my ATM machine's going to come after me now.
It's going to demand money from you.
That's why we need people like Paul to continue to create whiskey so that we can keep drinking and not worry about what happens on social media.
There you go.
Or forget it.
Well, forget social media altogether. Yeah.
We'll try. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you guys know? How do you guys know Frank?
Just got a drink for that.
Frank reached out. Yeah, Frank, get a drink for that one.
Nice.
What are you? Are you guys drink? Are you guys?
Yeah, we're
something?
drinking sheepdog peanut butter whiskey because we're smoking the Alchemist, which is the Alchemist extract, which is a brand new cigar we just dropped, and it's got a peanut butter taste, and we wanted to pair it with this peanut butter whiskey to see if it was any good.
Let's be correct. It's like an all natural almond butter, not like a sweet peanut butter.
See what I mean about
We
being
need to
the
be correct.
See what I mean by being the correct, the critic. That's all it is.
We need to be correct. I don't want to set unreal expectations.
Right. That's a smart way to approach
That's
this.
a sharp almond butter, along with my ASRM. My name is Bradley Reith. Welcome back to Cigar Hour with Bradley.
Welcome to Peanut Butter Talk.
No, it's a great cigar. I really like it. It's got a great natural tobacco flavor. It does have like this peanut buttery type flavor to it. Nuts. Got a strong caramel flavor to it as well, which I really like. Particularly on the Retro Hill. It's aged for 4 years. It's been rolled and sitting for 4 years. So that's been very good to get at this time, particular time. And it's really good cigar. It really is. So
Excellent.
I don't know what to say. But I know Frank from when we first started. I think Frank reached out to me maybe less than a year in, and texted me or something like that on Facebook and said, "Hey man, big fan, love your stuff, so on and so forth." And seen us in our good times, our bad times, and everything else like that. And been a faithful brother ever since. It's been really cool talking to Frank and seeing. I've talked to him several times on the phone. This might be the very first time I've seen him on video, like face to face. Is this a weird thing?
Does he look better in person, or does he have a voice for telephone better?
No, he looks fine. What do you say? I'm not gonna say he looks good. I'm a great guy. I mean, what are you gonna say, man?
Last year I had my beard growing out just like yours.
Did you?
So,
Okay.
and we share birthdays close enough. We're same age.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
October 5th.
October 5th. Okay.
70.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're same age in that. So
yeah, dude. Yeah.
And then
49 is a new 39, right? So
yeah, exactly. And then for me, it's finding out this company at on different podcasts, things like that, talking to Bradley and actually his entire family, which is phenomenal. I mean, they're a great family business. They're a riot. I was telling Bradley
There's something.
They do it.
Yeah, they are. I big memory was sitting on the porch with my dad smoking a cigar, and he's like, "Oh, I got to get these cigars." I go, "Let's call Zeal, see if they have them." He called on a Saturday, and he talked to Bradley's dad for quite a while.
Oh wow!
And it sticks in my mind.
Oh,
They
wow.
had such a good time.
That's crazy. That's
But
awesome, dude.
Yeah, the old devil doc.
Yeah, dude.
yeah. But just a great business.
We're a small family company, and we like being a small family company. We don't have aspirations to be Cigars International or anything like that.
Right.
We really love what we do. We like serving our community. We love our patrons. We love coming out with new and unique cigars that are just as good as the big boys, but don't have a band or a box in them, so you pay half the price.
Right.
We see that as being a very, very big thing for the cigar industry at this point in this economy in particular.
Yes.
Are you going to fill up your gas tank or get a cigar? Which one are you going to do? And when you smoke our cigars, typically the average person goes, "Oh wow, I thought this was a bundled cigar. This is much better than I thought it was going to be," which I'm very, very excited about because yeah, when you think of bundled cigars, think of like that has a bad connotation to it as far as quality and premiumness, if you would. But ours are not, your typical bundled cigars, if you would. So they might come in bundles, but they are long leaf, hand rolled, just as good as the big boys, at half the price. To be honest with you. That's my opinion. Obviously, I better have a high one since I'm part of the business.
Well, luckily, there's a bunch of drunk uncles smoking our cigars.
Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Yeah. Say the nice things, boys. Say the nice things.
Bob,
Get
I'm
out of
gonna
here.
let you start
I
off.
like it. It's delicious, actually.
No, when he, you know, we always like to. Our initial opinion always comes from just kind of cracking the cello and just taking a sniff, you know. And he's like, "Oh," I go, "It's a closed foot." He goes, "No, it's not." I go, "Yes, it is," but he can't see.
I don't see very well.
He doesn't
so-
see very well. But it was pigtail, right? With the
Pigtail,
with the
beautiful draw on this, by the way. Excellent draw.
And you
That's
are
that's the Sanitarium Maduro.
that's the midnight.
No, but it's
League of
the
Midnight.
Oh, the League of
League
Midnight.
of Midnight.
So
League of
funny
Midnight.
story. That's one of the only cigars that if I'm at home and I don't have one in my humidor, I live like 0.5 miles. I will walk my butt down here to the store, open it up, get one of those cigars, buy it, and take it home.
And it sells out every single time. Everything sells
Very
out.
good,
It's
very
fun.
good
It's
smoke.
fun, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
And
This King's comeback, I'm getting like especially on the retro, like a sweet hickory or something. Like it's amazing. I have not had a bad house blend from Zeal Cigars, or I mean, and especially at the price point is
So
amazing.
price point is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the retro on this, the Primordial Toro. I've got the natural. Retro, absolutely divine, and it was immediate for me. It was barnyardy up front, and then smoking it. Now with the pairing, I'm getting that beautiful, as Joey likes to say, marzipan.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
Because
JB, you ever get marzipan on a cigar?
Literally, as soon as you said that, my first thought was, I don't even know what the hell that is.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, don't worry, JB. He's talking way too elegant.
That sounds too
You know what I
cultured
mean?
for my hillbilly
Yeah,
button.
that's a little bit too much.
Does that go on mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
I just had a marzipan bite about an hour ago. I love marzipan.
All right.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
I was
It's a nice
telling
sweet
JB
note,
like
though.
two weeks ago. I was telling JB that natural is awesome with bourbons.
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh man," and I'm like, "No, this is the one. This
Fantastic.
is the one for bourbons. It really perfect pairing."
Riley, how you liking that? That's the Primordial Maduro that you're smoking.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's really pretty easy going. I mean, it's got that great sweetness to it. Not a ton of spice. Yeah, agree. Just I think we've got a high rye content in our bourbon, so it kicks a little bit, and I think that pairs really nicely. I usually I either go for like contrast or similarities with cigars and whiskey, right? And I think this with the bourbon is more of a similarity kind of pairing, but it's really enjoyable.
Right. That's when you have that accompaniment. It's almost like somebody's playing the bass, and then you get the little lead guitar coming in. So
It
it's
balances
accompanied.
the skill very
Yeah,
nicely,
you have to do that.
I mean, this has got a really nice sweet note
notes.
to it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
told me that.
yeah, and it's pairing nicely with what we're drinking. Very nice.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about the FEW bourbon is it's a very like approachable. It's got like that nice oakness to it, but then like there's that like subtle like orangey type fruit note in there, and it does pair excellently with many cigars, and it's a very easy sipping bourbon. I think it would even be good for a beginner bourbon as well.
What's the nice sweetness?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the proof on that bourbon?
It's
93
46,
93.
95.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got a nice strength. And I think it makes a really great cigar pairing whiskey because of that. Just like Riley was saying, you got that sweetness, but you also got that spice. And it's a really versatile blend for mixing or pairing with any number of cigars.
Right. So what's in like the core range for a few
the FEW Spirits core ranges are bourbon and our rye. And so our bourbon's going to be nice and sweet with a lot of spice. And our rye is going to be nice and spicy with a lot of really nice fruit. Both of which I think pair fantastic with cigars. Although I will say we also have a bourbon that we bring to proof with cold brew coffee.
Ooh.
And I think that little bit of coffee just makes for the perfect cigar smoking whiskey.
Oh,
because it just
Yeah.
softens it up and it really carries.
I got to
And-
sample it at Whiskey Fest Chicago a couple months ago,
Nice.
and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like the cigar I got right here's got a lot of really nice coffee flavors, and it would go really great with that. But that's
Yeah, sure. Hold it up
not what I
again.
have.
JB has. Have you seen this before?
Oh, what is
I
that?
can't read it.
Is that like a little shot of coffee?
Kahlua.
there.
It's a shot of marzipan.
It's a coffee. And I still don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a specialty pan. It's all good.
You hit somebody with it. It's you cook eggs in it. It's so this is a coffee rum from Hawaii, and it's amazing. So if you guys are doing a rum infusion with cold brew, I can only imagine it's going to be amazing to drink with cigars.
The Kaloa is my buddy Bob. He's an awesome dude. If you ever get a chance to talk to the guy behind that company, he's an awesome dude.
You know,
you guys were. I was going to say, you guys were talking about like subtlety, that peanut butter whiskey before, right? I mean, there's two ends of the scale with that. You know, for our cold cut bourbon, it's a little more on the subtle side. You know, I wouldn't go into it thinking it's a coffee liqueur. You just get a little bit of that. It's nothing but bourbon whiskey and cold brew coffee. There's no sweeteners. There's nothing like that. So that kind of coffee, that subtle kind of cocoa, that bitterness enhances the sweetness. It's a great balance.
Oh, nice.
So that's good for the breakfast crew, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
For any crew.
Speaking of blending, Bradley, how do you go about making the perfect Zeal house cigar?
Amazing. That's amazing. Sorry. We were just testing that. KB testing, like, you gotta try it, dude. You gotta try it.
Bro.
Oh, dude, it's so good. So freaking good. Yeah, with this what did you get when you did that?
Like chocolate mousse.
I know that's exactly what I got. Yeah, I would say chocolate pudding, but I'm not that
sophisticated.
Oh
no, yes.
Chocolate
Dang
pudding.
It. A snack pack.
Yeah, snack pack. Right? But they didn't have any pudding. High school. I'm getting back to high school. Sorry. What did you say? What did you ask? Sorry, I apologize.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of blending, because you have the bourbons.
How do we blend?
You know, Bradley, how do you,
let me put this out there real quick. First, I don't blend anything. So,
or you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. People send me cigars, and the companies reach out and they say, "Hey, I know you do a lot of house brands and you like private labels and everything like that. Try these. Tell me what you think." And so, essentially, we'll get a couple cigars in. I'll smoke them. JB smokes them. If we like them, we keep them. If not, we send them back and say, "Hey, give us something different. We want more of this, less of this, things like that." So I don't blend anything. The reason we call them Zeal House brands is because we don't blend. We're not blenders. We don't go down and pretend. And I've never said that, never will say that. I have no aspirations to be a cigar blender whatsoever. My whole goal in life is to provide very, 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 very high quality cigars at a very, very, very high value. Meaning, like, you paying $6 for my Primordial Maduro, you're like, oh my gosh, dude. For example, I have a customer comes in here. He smokes only EP Carrillo, right? He smoked the EP Carrillo La Astoria and the Pledge, and then he tried a Primordial. He's like, dude, this thing's good. This thing's very much a heavy hitter, like those two cigars. And I'm like, good, man, good. That's good for you. You know, so that's what I try to do with that. So when it comes to our house brands, we sell 9 of our house brand cigars for every one main brand cigar we sell. Just to understand that. That's how much it is. Wow. So most people come to us because we have unique blends. Blends are blends specifically for us. And I talk to them. And then if we don't like it, we don't keep it. And if we don't like it, we never review it. Just so you know, like there's how many cigars are my humidor that I don't smoke, JB? Honestly.
I was mad you made me smoke this because I have like 10 I need to smoke right now.
Dead serious, man. There's so many guys that send us,
I'm like, dang it, I already smoked this.
Try this. And it's not just the big boys, it's smaller guys, things like that. Guys that just boutique blends and so on and so forth. And the biggest problem I have is that I'll smoke one of my cigars. I'll smoke a really good cigar, like a real hefty price cigar, $20 plus, right?
Right.
I'll smoke that. Somebody sends it to me, and I'm very, very honored they would. And thank you very much for the people that do that. And I smoke it, and then I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to go try mine to see what it tastes like. And I'm like, it's $6-7, man.
Right. There's a big difference.
$20. Yeah. But see, there isn't a big difference, meaning like people think there's a big difference between house brand, like our house brands, and like the other ones, like we use short filler or mixed filler. We don't. We have like one or two house brands are like short or mixed filler, maybe one or two. The rest of them are all long filler, premium, super premium. 42 different house brands, man. So I'm just gonna, and by the time we're done with this thing, if we ever get done with it, it'll be hundreds. Yeah, because there's so many guys out there that are making really good cigars that if we work with them,
how many?
Huh?
How many?
There's so many. I don't know.
You said hundreds?
Hundreds?
Yeah, hundreds, dude.
$1
hundreds.
billion.
I'd love to have hundreds of house brands. But it's also creative outlet for me because
sounds like a few.
We get a chance to decide.
Sounds like a few. It does. It sounds like a few.
Oh,
Get it?
Yeah.
That went over your head.
You.
Don't worry.
Freaking like Chicago people and everything. And we're in Arizona, we got manners. Anyway, who goes?
I will say I'm gonna definitely be looking for their stuff after hearing them talk about it for sure.
Right, me too.
And speaking of Chicago, Paul, your distillery does pay homage to Chicago. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're based here we're actually based in Evanston, which is just immediately outside Chicago, but all of the labels on all of our bottles are paying homage to the 1893 World's Fair, which was here in Chicago. And so you can see on the screen there, you got a bottle of the bourbon. And like, for example, that's a picture of the Statue of the Republic, which was kind of one of the defining images of the World's Fair. It was the size of the Statue of Liberty, but it was made out of paper mache. So during the World's Fair, it melted because obviously it was outside and it rained.
Whoops! Might have been a Chicago budget issue.
Well, no, they knew it was going to come down. So why bother making it nice if it's just going to come down? Like they threw like all the buildings were made out of paper mache. They didn't think it was going to last. They didn't want.
They got a nice reproduction down on the south side now. Jackson Park.
Yeah, what Riley said.
Cool site.
Very cool.
And FEW, that's actually the initials of. Can you get into that a little bit? Franny, something?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see a similarity with some initials because we are here in Evanston, Illinois, which is the birthplace of the entire Prohibition movement that was led by an Evanston resident named Frances Elizabeth Willard. And so a lot of people see a similarity with her initials in our name, but it is, of course, a sheer and total coincidence. We would certainly never name a distillery after the progenitor of Prohibition.
I don't know if Paul's mentioned it, but he used to be a lawyer. Can you tell?
I'm feeling much better now.
So how did that transition happen for you when you made the decision, Paul, to go ahead and open a distillery? I mean, what was where did your knowledge base come from at that point?
My knowledge base came from my own two hands and trying to figure it out. When we started, there really wasn't a huge community of distillers out there. So I had to learn everything the hard way by trial and error and figuring it out and, doing my best. And then trying to find other people who are smart, passionate, caring, creative, and have them help me do my best while they're doing their best. And, we all kind of figure it out together. We just get better and better as we go along. And, within, it wasn't very long before we were winning best whiskey in the world and all sorts of all the critical acclaim you could possibly get. One of my sales guys always tries to talk about how we're the greatest whiskey brand you've never heard of.
Right.
And it's true. We are. Yeah. We make the best whiskey on the planet and you've never heard of us. So that's my job, is to make sure that you have heard of us.
Right.
Well, and it's also the hardest to find.
Yeah. Not after tomorrow, won't be.
Not after tomorrow.
So Bradley, how do you go from pastor to cigar brand owner?
You quit the church and start a business.
Well, what was your thoughts behind that? Because we've talked a little bit about that. Come on now.
I never got fired or anything like that. I left of my own accord. That's one of the questions I get all the time. It's like, what did you do to get fired from being a pastor and so on? I did plenty to get fired, actually, believe it or not, but they never fired me. And what I mean by that is just telling people the truth, and people don't want to hear the truth. So you catch a dude cheating on his wife, you're like, you better tell her before I do. And he's like, what? You can't say that. I'm not Catholic, bro. I can say whatever I want, right? So that's a shot across the bow, bro. It's a shot across the bow. Anyways, long story short, I've been smoking cigars since I was probably 21 or 22. I can't remember exactly. But it was a weird thing. We went into a cigar shop one time that our regular guy wasn't there, and I just kind of went in and said, you should hire me and my buddy because we know cigars. And the lady was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it doesn't interfere with church, because we were both pastors at the time. And they did, they ended up hiring us. And then about probably 3 or 4 months into it, the lead owner of the store came to me and said, would you be interested in running the whole operation? And I said, well, anybody could run this. It's not that hard. And, I can do a better job than the current manager, I think. And so I did, and so we had 5 or 6 stores at that point. So it was a cigar warehouse. and started TNT and the Cigar Review and everything else like that, and kind of the rest is history. So the difference between the church and business is quite different, meaning like you don't deal with, like, I don't have to sit through meetings I don't want to. Like, if I don't want to talk to you guys, I don't want to talk to you guys. You know what I'm saying?
True.
A lot of times when you're a pastor, you have to indulge people's stupidity. Not just the pastors think, they'll just never say it. We have to indulge your stupidity, right? Because you're poor little sinners that need to like listen to somebody so we can bad about stuff. We hate that crap. We really do. And I'm not trying to be pathetic. I know everybody sins and everybody has their issues. But there's some people that just don't learn, and you're like, they're the fifth time in your office. They're like, look, dude, I've just, I'm trying to give up meth. And I'm like, bro, go to rehab. No, I don't, I'm afraid of rehab. Things like that. So I'm not trying to be unsympathetic, but the reality is it was, there's things like that. So I think that's different, because here people come in, they want to see you, they want to see what products you have, and you're selling a product. And I'm not selling something that's, intangible or anything else like that. Not that I'm trying to sell God whatsoever, but I'm still a committed Christian, still go to church all the time, still actively involved in my community and everything else like that. So it's not something that I gave up or anything else like that. I'm not, and my faith hasn't changed. It's only gotten stronger. I do more preaching now outside the pulpit than I ever did in the pulpit. Just so everybody understands.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like somebody doesn't walk into our shop every single week and sit down and be like, yo, let's talk.
I should charge for this, just so you know. I mean, literally. I mean, just more other than cigars. I mean, it's just really a true statement. So,
right. Well, there you go. That's your stick. You come into your thing and you be like, you want some advice? Buy a couple of sticks first. Right. We'll sit down and hammer it out.
Sit down, light one up. Right. I think that's a cool thing, though, man. I really think it's a cool thing. I love it, but I do have. I mean, I do have my gripes with both the business and the church. It's kind of what it is. So I'm in a mood tonight too. I haven't enough whiskey yet.
Well, I think one thing, and it was Bradley, it was a question of mine, but you kind of answered it, is knowing you through the years and that, and us talking a little bit on a more personal level and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It sounds to me that more and more, you're more than just the cigar business. People confide in you, and you're very approachable, and you're really good at talking to them. And I think that makes the community even more. And then even with a cigar, like you have talked about, you'll sit there with a group, have cigars, talk about faith, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, dude.
And it's funny because you're reading my mind on some of my questions here, so you actually answer them all. It's horrible.
Good. Bradley, you're huge in Chicago. I know that for a fact. So
I don't know if I'm huge in Chicago or anywhere else, but I know that just people, guys. Let's just say this. First off, guys don't talk about their feelings ever. We all know that. Okay, we don't have feelings. I'm Scottish and Irish and Welsh and German, so that means I have two emotions: pissed off and asleep. Okay, so the reality is, when you sit down with somebody who's trustworthy or is a confidant or something like that, and you can start talking about what's really going on in life, that's a rarity today. And the Cigar Lounge is one of those places that
it's a safe place.
Yeah, you could do that as a guy. You'd be like, yeah, this is going on. I'll tell you something that really happened that was really, really cool, because literally we have to close at 7:00 here, so we have like 10 minutes left. I apologize. Here's the thing. What was I just saying? I was going to say something. I totally forgot. What I was
cool. Some kind of cool story about somebody coming in.
And then you said you're closing any minute now. So
I was looking at the time. I totally botched that, dude. It was such a great story. I'm sure it was. Okay.
It's like 10.
Huh? It's like what?
There's probably like 10 stories.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I got it back. Here we go. So long story short, we had several guys sitting in the lounge. We only seat about 8. We don't have a big lounge by design. So all of us are talking about finances and talking about businesses and everything else like that. And all of us have businesses except for one of our guys. And we're talking about money and what we're doing with money and everything else like that. And eventually one of my buddies just kind of puts his head down, doesn't say anything. And then I said, well, what about you, man? And he's like, I just feel stupid, dude. I feel stupid talking about money. I'm not good with it or anything else like that. It was just really vulnerable at that point. Really cool. Just like an honorable man moment, right? To be like transparent and humble. And I was like, dude, and then everyone starts joking like, dude, I lost millions and I lost this, I lost that, and so we started talking about like how all our failures and everything like that. Guys don't usually talk about our failures. We always talk about our successes. We're always giving our resume to somebody, right? Like, look how good I am, look what I did, all this kind of stuff like that. But it's in failure that you actually learn something, and we all know that. We just don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in failure to learn.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Paul was saying in the video, really, right? You talked about that, how things happened and you didn't do everything right at first. So that's when you learn.
I've failed at way more businesses than I've succeeded at. That's for damn sure.
I think
I failed so much. I can't even tell you how much I failed. That's why I win.
That's awesome, man. But that's one of the things that we do here. I think is really kind of unique. Is that we are available, so like people come in and chat with us and so on and so forth, and it does sometimes get on my not on my nerves, but under my skin, in the sense of like there's still stuff we have to get done, you know, because we're in the business and we're doing things like that, and I'm like, can I take time to do this? And we always do make time, but it's just who we are, and it's part of our DNA as a business to literally help people when they come in and talk with them about what's going on and so on and so forth. So we don't do that every day, every moment, every hour. There's often times that we're testing a cigar or something like that. We'll go in there and sit down with our patrons, just be like, so what's going on, guys? Talk to me. And we'll jaw with them and have fun with them and everything else, like anyone else does, right? Smoking cigars. But then there's times it turns serious. Someone's like, hey man, I got some advice. And they usually pull me back in the back and like, can I talk to you here privately for a second? I'm like, sure, man. Let's talk. What's going on?
That actually happened today.
I know. Happens all the time. You know,
it actually happened today.
And I always feel like I'm getting taken to this tool shed. But my dad, can I talk to you privately for a second? I'm like, what'd I do? I didn't do anything wrong. My business, leave me alone. You know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, and they're just asking questions about life. You know, like, hey, what would you do in this situation? I'm like, that's complicated, man. I'd probably do this or this or this. You know, this kind of thing. So, but it's cool, and I think that's one of the things that I really do enjoy. Is talking through and coaching men through issues of you know, business, marriage, things like that is really good. And not that I'm super successful at either, but that I've got maybe some wisdom to give that I can pass on, that I'm batting 500 somewhere, you know, in life.
No, I get that. I'm sure, Paul, you're probably faced with a lot of that yourself, having, you know, employees. You feel a certain responsibility for their success, so I'm sure that always weighs on you as you're running a business, knowing that, hey, I've got a lot of families that I need to feed. So how do we make this work for everyone? Is it when you're thinking about blends, is it a consensus that you kind of strive for? When you're talking to your blenders out there, what is that process like for you?
I think for us at the distillery, it just really kind of varies and it depends. I mean, our core products are our core products, and you know, that's not really something that we're going to mess with. That said, you know, one of the things I think makes few is the creativity and the artistry that we all approach. And so, yeah, I try to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to create and make the stuff that gets them excited. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a heavy burden being, you know, having your decisions effectively control the finances for a lot of people, but that's kind of what you sign up for, I guess. But luckily, you know, we've just, like I said, we've just got a great team, and, you know, based on the culture at FEW, the people that last more than a few months tend to last for a long time, because there's nowhere else you can go that you're going to work with the people like this. Like, everybody really likes each other.
Right.
We've got, you know, one of our key guys is leaving at the end of the month, and, you know, we're all really, really upset. Like, he's making the right choice. He's not leaving for professional reasons, he's leaving for personal reasons.
Right.
But like, we're going to miss him personally as well as professionally.
Right.
And I don't know that that's true for an awful lot of workplaces where
it's not.
People genuinely like and respect each other.
Right. No, you're right.
Certainly, in my previous career, that's completely unheard of.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think Paul's being modest too. He is the fiercest. I mean, I would never want to cross his path in a bad way, because he will destroy you. But he is the fiercest advocate for the people that he cares about, and his team, and his products, and there is no top only decisions, which there very easily could be, you know. But Paul does a very great job of pulling people into his stratosphere, and allowing them to make decisions, sometimes mistakes, but a lot of times, like you said, you don't get to the good stuff without making those mistakes. So he's great at kind of nurturing that environment, which makes for a great workplace for sure.
If I was going to fire you for making a mistake, we'd have nobody around. Like I would never be that man. Like,
Paul would fire
Riley,
himself.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little secret that Riley's made some mistakes, and that's okay because all the mistakes that Riley's ever made, sum total are a small fraction of the mistakes I've made. So I mean, that's just the reality, man. Like we all make mistakes. Learn from them and do better, and I think that's what we've all done. And I'm not trying to criticize you, Riley. You know that.
No, you're totally right. Like you don't. The key to it is
it's okay. I make worse mistakes than you, brother.
If somebody keeps making the same mistake over and over and over again, then we have a problem. But if you can take that mistake and you can spin it into gold, or grow as an individual, then it's not a mistake at all, is it?
Just hearing them two talk makes me want to buy the bourbon even more.
Yeah,
there
dude.
you go.
Yeah, it's a solid. That's a solid relationship. Man.
If I can find it.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, one of our people made a massive mistake, and I still remember watching it happen, going, "Fuck!" And he was convinced he was about to get fired. I'm like, why would I fire you? I just paid for you to learn the most expensive lesson we've ever learned.
You got to pay me
back. Do it again? He's like, no. I'm like, well, then there you go.
Yeah.
Frank, I don't know if you want to go to some sponsorship and we'll get more into like the bourbon and
yeah, absolutely. I like that, Joey. You know what? You're okay, Joe. Sometimes I wonder, but on the whole, you're all right.
We'll stick around till after the sponsorship, but we'll say goodbye when we come back because we got to get out of here.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Cigar in the Bottle is 2 palate-pleasing gifts in one. A specially blended Grand Pommier XS VSOP cognac is elegantly contained in patented numbered bottles. Winner of back-to-back-to-back-to-back medals at the LA Spirits Awards, Cigar in the Bottle inventor Forbidden Johnny teams up with Vartan and Hendrik Kellner for this custom-blended Vartan Reserva cigar, well-preserved in a hand-blown glass chamber featuring Bovita 2-way humidification.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Experience the magic of Rockefeller Cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller Cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic.
Over the Rhine Premium Cigars is located in the heart of Cincinnati, 50 yards south of historic Findlay Market. We offer both known brands and the finest boutique cigars available. Feel free to bring your favorite beverage and relax in Dude Daycare, where dudes of all genders are welcome. We look forward to serving you at Over the Rhine Premium Cigars. And we are a proud member of the Boutique Cigar Association.
All begins at the very first climate-controlled Rodriguez Olivan cigar factory located in the Dominican Republic. Our 2 major brands include Don Olivan, which are boutique cigars suited for that individual who takes great pride in something unique. BAMF is our armed forces cigars designed for that badass mother effer. Not only are you smoking a great premium cigar, a percentage of the proceeds is donated to our heroic men and women in uniform.
And we're back, everyone.
We are back, folks, and I know folks have to get going. So, Joey, I know that.
So last year I did a pairing article on the double down with that Knob Creek 12. I don't know if you recall, Bradley.
Yes.
That's an excellent pairing. So out of the 10 cigars that you sent me, I chose the Twisted Fate. Can you tell us a little bit about that cigar?
It's a great cigar. It's creamy. It's got a, I think, I wish JB was here. He's helping somebody right now. I think it has a Habano Maduro.
Yep.
A Habano Maduro wrapper along with a Connecticut. Probably not. Probably a Habano. I wish I had the information.
Is it a Maduro in Connecticut, I think?
It could be a Maduro. Yeah. It could be. It could be. It could also be a Cameroon. I'm not sure. So we have some Cameroon barber poles as well. I can't remember.
I got for filler, it's Nicaraguan and Dominican, and the binder is Nicaraguan and Dominican as well.
Yes.
And it's got that Habano and Maduro wrapper on there, which
there we go.
Which
it's a light Habano. It's a light Habano.
You're smoking this cigar, and I just love the constant transitions between like the creamy marshmallow, the hazelnut coffee, and it just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then like when you pair it with this bourbon, you get like almost like a double chocolate. When you do the cigar to the whiskey, you get like this double chocolate flavor thing going on. And then the really cool part about it is when you do the whiskey to the cigar, you get like cherry caramel bomb notes from the bourbon.
Oh, okay.
That get twisted like a cherry swirl vanilla milkshake thing going on there. And I did something really cool too, where I smoked the cigar and then put the smoke right into the Glencairn, and you get like a charred cherry, cream-filled Oreo cookie type flavor thing going on there, which is
sounds awesome.
just incredible. So that's what the article is going to be on. It's going to be on the Twisted Fate and this FEW bourbon, and that's going to publish January 3rd or so.
So the guys from FEW, is it Alan? Did you say your name was Alan, dude? The owner, what's the name? Paul. So Paul and then Riley, right?
Riley.
Paul and Riley. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have ever had just any. I mean, I'm sure you've had every other bourbon there is. Often when I have bourbon with cigars, particularly Habano and or Maduro cigars, I always say one thing: it always tastes like pancakes. It always tastes like pancakes.
You have pancakes on the mind, Brad.
I don't know what it is.
Come on, man.
I did the carnivore diet. I'm down like 60 pounds. I feel great, but like I long for pancakes. Maybe that's what's happening. So
is it the pancake itself, or is it like the maple syrup on the pancake? Is it the whole?
It depends on what it is. It depends on the bourbon. Depends on the cigar, because I have like chocolate pancakes. I have like vanilla pancakes. I've got banana pancakes on one of them, believe it or not. So, but if you go look through our reviews on, best cigar reviews, it's literally, you'll see me say pancakes, and JB's like, don't say it, don't do it, don't you do it.
Pancakes.
Yes. And here's the other thing too. Okay, so we gotta go. But the other thing is, I always wonder if, because when somebody tells me something, I imagine it in my head and then I taste it in the cigar. Because I've said that a million times before. I've been like, this cigar is very cocoa-y and so on and so forth. And then I tried this in my lounge with somebody. I gave them a cigar that wasn't cocoa-y at all. I'm like, nice rich coffee and cocoa notes. Do you taste it? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, it's a suggestion. That's all it is. So I wonder how much of that is like we really taste it, or is somebody suggesting it? And then so when I talk about notes on our YouTube channel, I try to be very genuine with what I taste and what I think it tastes like, so, but I use food analogies because not everybody smokes, but everybody eats food.
Yeah.
So everybody understands food, when you say that. And as a fat kid, dude, I want food.
Well, I think the same thing with bourbon is the same thing. You're going to be guided by things that you've eaten, and it might be something that you might have eaten right then and there before you drink, or that you're pairing with a food that you might be eating and smoking at the time. So it all depends.
And it's totally subjective too, right? I mean, you read a Scotch review, you might see treacle on there, and you may have never had treacle or marzipan in your life, right? So you gotta when I'm talking to people about that, I tell them, I'm like, well, okay, it tastes like fruit. What kind of fruit does it taste like? You try to break it down to what they're tasting, but you always start blind. Let them taste their own things first. Even write it down, you know what I mean? Before I say my own kind of thoughts on that blend, you tell me what you taste first, and then we'll kind of merge our thoughts together and try to interpret what that means for that product, right?
Right.
It can be suggestive. I mean, when you tell like Cocoa Chemist, which it is chocolatey.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's something you don't have to suggest to anybody.
But a lot of times when you say something like that, okay, pancakes, the first thing in a person's mind is they're going to smoke it or whatever
Mhm.
and go, can I get pancakes out of it? And they might because of the suggestion. So
Right,
it's
right.
true. You probably hand them it and
Yeah.
you tell me what you.
There's a lot of
The power of
yeah,
suggestion.
Suggestion does that. I mean, and batter is a prevalent recollection for our senses. Like we're
Right.
thinking about as
Right,
a child, those pancakes were always served up. I think we've all had them. So
Well, first off, you're making me extraordinarily hungry. Okay? Extraordinarily hungry. Second off, I do have to go. Third
Okay,
off, I'm going to get few. Just so you know, on the
All
way
right.
home, I'm picking you up. I'm going to try to find you. We're going to find out because my wife's already on me. Like, where
Thank you.
Yeah.
with this?
Bradley, before you go, the Twisted Fate is an excellent cigar.
Excellent.
Thank you, man.
It kept me on my toes the entirety of the smoking experience, going back and forth. I'm like, this is just so cool. So many flavors and transitions going on there in that cigar. It pairs excellently with this FEW bourbon. How do we get your cigars?
If I can say it on here, zealcigars.com. Yeah, zealcigars.com. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'll say
Zealcigars.com is the best place, or you can email me, Bradley at zealcigars.com, and ask me what's going on. And hey, dude, what's going on? I thought I'd put that out there because a lot of guys email me suggestions. We're pretty good at being a concierge service too. Like, hey, I want to smoke something like this. We can find something to match your palate usually. So
Great business,
Thank you, man.
business, Bradley,
Appreciate that.
and everybody try it out.
Yeah.
And hey, let me say this. Paul and Riley, your story is so inspiring and awesome as somebody who's a whiskey connoisseur, and somebody who loves bourbon. I'm a bourbon hound. I don't nearly drink it as much as I can now. I'm on the stupid diet, but it's so great to hear really cool guys and that love their employees and that really care about people. So I salute you guys sincerely for what you're doing. I really do. So
Cheers.
you guys
Cheers,
are
man.
Likewise, Bradley.
Definitely enjoyed your story and really enjoyed the smoke too.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you guys. I gotta go. I'm getting yelled
Thank you,
at.
Bradley. Thank you, JB. Thank you for jumping on, guys.
Cheers, boys.
I will. We'll see you guys.
Got it.
Bye.
Okay, so Paul, question for you.
And he's got to jump too, so he's got things that he's got to do.
Yeah,
so.
I got to bounce too.
Okay, you got to real quick.
Yeah.
Well done.
I got a couple minutes. What's up?
Okay, so as a brewer type focused approach to the whiskey, how does that differentiate between like a brewer's approach versus like the guys who are just straight whiskey makers?
I think we kind of take the approach
approach?
of trying to make our whiskey in the fermenter, which obviously beer guys make their beer in the fermenter.
Okay.
And we try to take the approach of making our whiskey in the fermenter too. And it's a little bit different than a lot of other people do. But I think it's one of the things that makes us a little bit different. I mean, I think one of the things about being in the bourbon business, that kind of, a great business to be in. But one of the things that really sucks about it is that my competitors make really good stuff. And you can't pretend that the other whiskey in the market isn't good, because it is. And so you got to make stuff that has that same level of quality that my competitors do. But we also got to make sure it tastes a little bit different. So we take a little bit of a different approach. And we try to make our whiskey a little bit of a different way. And that's how our whiskey ends up tasting a little different. We take a creative approach. We take a brewer's approach. We take great care of our fermentations. We take great care of everything early. And we think we think the effects show in the glass, because I think you end up with a great pour every time.
I look forward to seeing it back in Total Wine and ABC here
Yeah.
in Florida. Once you get off the
Me
phone
too.
tomorrow.
Get that phone call going right now.
Because we're going to be picking up a couple of bottles for sure.
Awesome.
All right,
thanks,
thank
gentlemen.
you,
Be
Paul.
well. And
Yeah.
I'm off to go hang out with my daughter.
All right, thank you, Paul.
Right,
Thank you, Paul.
So,
You guys, be well.
Riley, are you hanging out, or are you jumping off?
Yeah,
too
I
as
got
well?
I didn't bring my roach clip with me, but I got a few more minutes here.
Oh, okay. So, what's it like working for a lawyer?
It's good. I mean, luckily Paul's got a background in music too, so he's got he's got both sides of the brain, right? Hectic and complicated at times, but for the most part, it's been really good.
What would be like the highlight of your career so far with FEW Bourbon?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, if you guys want to get geeky with me, I've got a project I've been working on for the last 5 years. You know, and I think just to say, like, I think cigars and whiskey go so well together because of that fermentation aspect, right? I mean, you've got fermentation is a heavy component to the flavors of a cigar at multiple kind of levels. And I totally agree with Paul. Fermentation is like my favorite aspect of what we do. I love to cook, and that's kind of an extension of that. But I don't know. Do you guys drink any kind of Asian spirits? You drink shochu, or you ever had sake? You know, all that kind of stuff, right? So,
yep.
So with whiskey or American whiskey, you got your starch conversion with malted barley, right? Malted barley has all those enzymes in it that convert that starch to sugar, and then you can ferment that. In a lot of Asian spirits, you've got koji, which is essentially you're growing a mold on a grain.
Right.
And that mold is producing the enzymes that convert that starch to sugar. But it's actually a type of fermentation, so it creates this whole different kind of structure of flavor. So I was trying to think, how do you make an American whiskey that doesn't taste like an American whiskey? How do you make something that has flavors that you might not have tasted before? So, you know, with Paul's, you know, goodwill, he's like, go for it. So we built a koji room in one of our warehouses.
Oh, very cool.
So nice. we essentially, we've got a big column still in our distillery, but we can take the steam off that still. And I built a makeshift steamer so I can steam about 50 pounds of rice at a time. So I'll steam that rice. We order these spores from Japan. They're food safe spores, grow it on the rice, and then incorporate it into a rye whiskey. So I love bourbon, but rye whiskey is my heart. Like, I love the characteristics you get from American rye whiskey. So it's rice, wheat, and rye, wheat, and rice koji. We just did a really small release in Chicago recently under the banner Cereal Killer, like cereal grain. And that's probably my personal highlight, just because it's something I've been so invested in for years now. And it's you know, much like cigars, you can't rush a good cigar, right?
Right.
You can't force it to be good when you want it to be good. A lot of times you're at the beck and call of that natural process. And so to see this thing after 5 years just become something in a bottle that people can enjoy and appreciate and experience something different is a huge highlight.
Oh yeah,
Huge.
that's amazing. That's fantastic. I need to try that.
Yeah, it's there's a few restaurants and great bars in Chicago that still have it, but it was a super small release. The next few years we'll have something a little bit bigger. But when you guys are up in Chicago, give me a call and we'll
what
go
can
drink
we
it.
expect for like a new or upcoming release from you guys?
So nothing I can talk too much about right now, but I don't know if you guys are aware of our music collaboration. So we did we did a release with Flaming Lips back in 2016. We did one with Alice in Chains recently, right? And so we're just doing a re-release.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Very
We're
cool.
doing a re-release of Alice in Chains soon. That's a tequila finished bourbon. We've got 2 band releases coming up in this new year that are going to be outstanding. And those will be national releases. So
cool.
You'll be able to find them or order them online.
Very nice. Love that.
Well, actually, third one, nobody else knows about this yet. So again, I can't talk about it too much, but we've got this wonderful smoked product that we've been making for a long time now. We're releasing it under a new banner. Can't say what it is just yet, but keep an eye out. It's something completely different. Pairs really well with barbecue. So keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
Interesting.
So outside of few, what are some of your favorite ryes?
One of the first ryes I really got into that kind of showed me what rye could be outside of like just obviously back in the day drinking a lot of Bullet and stuff like that when I was working the cigar shop. And then I had Old Potrero rye, which is out of San Francisco. And honestly, the Jim Beam rye I think is really nice as well. I mean, something where you can really taste the grain. You can taste that spice is good to me.
Have you had Castle and Key? Have you had Castle and Key?
Right. I haven't had. Are they doing a rye? I haven't had their rye yet.
They have a rye out. It's like $40 for the bottle, and it's just amazing.
$40. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that.
Pikesville makes a good one too.
Yep.
Ooh, Pikesville. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Pikesville, Rittenhouse.
Well, that's just like
I mean,
barely a
those
rye.
are
It's like
outstanding, too.
barely a rye though. It's like 51% rye. So it's just like just
right
there
on the
yeah.
cusp. One of our head distiller, actually, her and I were just working on a recipe for 100% rye whiskey. So we're doing 100% rye that's just getting mashed today for the first time. So another 4 or 5 years, you'll see that. But it's rye grain just has so much great character. It's a real pain in the ass to work with, but it's got such great characteristic. It's worth every second of it. Yeah.
All right. I think we're at that point.
Yeah, Joey, we're ready to go to our.
Yeah, we're gonna be giving away an entire bottle of this FEW bourbon.
Wow. Look at you. Aren't you a nice guy?
We're gonna be also giving away like a sampler pack of the Zeal cigars, a bunch of their house brands here.
Love that.
Some of they're famous for their stickers.
Yes.
And also a Zeal Cigars hat.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Awesome. So when we come back, right after these words from some amazing sponsors, right, Ron? As he sits there and smokes his.
And Riley, if you got to go, we appreciate you, brother.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take off now, but thank you so guys. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Guys.
Another day in paradise, slanging cigars.
Howard G Cigars is a dynamic new cigar brand grown from a love for cigar culture and a respect for the artisanship behind the craft. We are a minority-owned family business based in Orlando, Florida. Our current collection delivers 3 exclusive lines: the Black Moses, Magic Stick, All Pro Series, featuring Leon Searcy's signature cigar and Ike Taylor's one-of-a-kind, and the newly released Perfect Round, featuring 18 cigars, a front 9 and a back 9. Visit our website at www.howardgcigars.com. You can find a full list of our retail partners there too. Thank you for making us part of your humidor. DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Blue Smoke Atlanta is the vision of Robin Blue, founder and CEO, and represents an award-winning luxury smoking accessory line based in Atlanta and sold worldwide. Since 2019, Blue Smoke Atlanta's goal was to redefine traditional smoking accessories into a timeless collection of exquisitely handcrafted luxury products to include cigar pokers, cannabis clips, jewelry, and other awesome things. For an elevated smoking experience, visit us at www.bluesmokeatl.com.
At Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco, we specialize solely in the finest hand-rolled, craft, and boutique cigars on the market. Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco is sure to have something that will excite you. Shop our online humidor at www.mountainsmokewv.com.
A family of 4 generations in tobacco. It started in Odense, Denmark, 141 years ago, 1882, with a factory and a retail store by Eric Peter Stokeby. Fourth Generation is a premium quality brand consisting of a selection of tin and loose tobaccos made in Denmark, pipes made of the finest quality briar, and superior accessories from leather goods, lighters, and pipe tools. The selection of Fourth Generation products are available in premium pipe and cigar stores in the US and many European countries. Check out fourthgenpipetobacco.com.
And
we are back.
All right, now just a quick recap. Earlier, I was mentioning I'm going to announce the Whiskey Network Cigar of the Year on the 18th. I'll challenge the audience if they to throw up what their guess might be for my pick for the cigar of the year.
Don't throw up on the show.
The five options being the Educator by Ancestry Cigars, the Don V Maduro by Oscar Valladares and Vic Shaw at Norwood Royal Cigars, the Don Patron by Lampert Cigars, the SP 1014 Black label by Sanj Patel, and the Act 1 by Noble Cigars. So if you have a guess at what that cigar might possibly be, just throw it up on the board, and we'll see what happens on the 18th.
Yeah, very nice, Joey. I like that. I like that. And, you know, for our audience, just as a reminder that this animal
Poor guy.
is looking for work. Looking for work. I saw it on the street corner, actually, as I was driving through Margaritaville. And the chooch said, "What happened? You guys giving me the boot?" So next week, during our fan appreciation show, you will be speaking to and being stumped by someone other than the chooch. So the chooch is definitely going to be transforming.
I think
and you'll be able to see
a new employment for the chooch.
It's going to get new employment. Of course, we're not going to leave them out on the street.
No, we can't.
We can't do that. We don't want them getting hit by traffic, especially the drunk drivers here in Margaritaville with their golf carts.
So they'll be working for a FEW Distillery next week.
They'll be out there working. But yeah, next week, folks, make sure you tune in. We have so many different prizes that we're going to be giving away. It's going to be a wonderful show.
It's the end of the year show.
It's the end of the year show. It's amazing, Joey. You made.
I will be giving away a bottle of Weller.
Oh,
which one?
Joey will be.
It's a surprise.
A surprise.
Yep.
I'm not giving away mine. Sorry.
It's going to be a lot of interesting things being given away, and we'll have a new chooch is in town. Now, you know, with a much higher level chooch. So you'll have to watch.
He's a little smarter.
A lot smarter than the chooch that we've had. You know.
Well, let's hope so.
Although it's still the same chooch asking the question. They'll just be there's a different. I'm using a different methodology. So that's
There
for
you
next
go.
week. But for today, folks, guys, let me try to stump you with a couple of interesting questions. I think the folks out in the audience would love an opportunity to guess some of these. So, you know, I love history, and this date in history brings on some very interesting things, Joe. So in 1913, on this date in history, December, what the hell date is it? 12th?
I don't even know.
Bob doesn't know because
I
I love how you're asking Bob.
Bob says Saturday every day. It's Saturday.
Saturday. That's the day.
Do you know that the Mona Lisa was recovered 2 years after its theft from the Louvre? Who was that thief? Where did they recover from? Who was the thief?
Who was the thief?
Yes. You know, it's amazing what these damn Italians will do.
Wow.
They go for the Mona Lisa. So it was found in Florence. Waiter Vincenzo Perugia's hotel room. You'd think the guy would put it somewhere safer.
A hotel room.
In his hotel room. I mean, What?
Kyle always goes for the Mona Lisa too.
He's always is that the Mona Lisa or the Moaner?
Hey, you don't. Beggars can't be choosers, you know.
That's right.
Don't beat yourself up.
All right, one more question for you, Chooches, because then we're going to get to the most important thing is giving away the bottle and cigars. So this city's mayor didn't like prohibition at all. So he mailed winemaker instructions to all his constituents. Who was this mayor? He'd send it out. Can you imagine?
Well, we know it wasn't LaGuardia.
Well, it was LaGuardia.
Was it?
Yes, LaGuardia. Fiorello LaGuardia. He didn't like. Yeah, so
but he hated prohibition. He was the guy who told everybody to break all the bottles and.
That's what I'm saying. He hated it, so he didn't like it. I didn't say he liked
Bob,
it.
Let's not act like you were sending out the fucking letters.
Yes.
What's LaGuardia? Okay.
Yeah, it was. All right. One more because I thought you would like this for you guys. So prohibition led to a widespread disrespect for law. Imagine that.
Can't imagine.
New York City alone had about how many speakeasies?
Over 2,000.
What do you guys think? Any guess?
3,200.
1,001, Bob.
It had.
Hey,
it actually had an estimated of about 30,000. 30,000 speakeasies.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we had the most in the country.
He was there, so he knew. He went to every one of them.
Every one of them.
Yeah. Was that like the basement of every 3 flat in New York?
Basically.
probably.
30,
Every bathtub in New York.
And
All right.
the oldest one is still there.
It is.
Yeah.
Bob doesn't know the name of it, but
No,
he does.
I do. But it is still there.
What is it? What's the name?
And they still have the key to open up this incredible door that's down in the basement to get in. Yeah, yeah. Club 21.
Yeah.
21. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. This is for the audience. All right. They're going to be out there, figuring this out. Let's see who gets this. All righty, folks. During Prohibition, some people believed that alcohol and antifreeze could be made safe by filtering it through what? People were seriously injured or killed.
Bob's diaper.
Nice. It depends.
Wine.
you got Mike says a sock, cheesecloth. We got all kinds of things. Coffee filter, a cheesecloth.
Wow.
No, all
A
good,
dirty rag.
all good bad answers. Thomas Pilger says charcoal. That would make sense. So
Yeah.
most people
It is a
probably.
good-
This is talking.
Ronnie, turn it down. We can't hear anybody.
No.
Jesus.
Christ. Ronnie's
It's clouding their brains.
talking is really a bad answer. So what did they actually filter?
So nobody's got
Nobody's got this.
it. Oh,
Sand.
wow.
Wow. Interesting. Nobody gets
It's like
it.
you got him stumped.
I've got him stumped.
Yes.
Look at that. The last show.
So nobody gets
Wow.
anything today.
We leave them hanging.
Wow.
Wow. See,
That's
all
a
of you.
good one, Frank.
That's a good one. I stumped everybody.
Wow.
That's the reason why.
Charcoal was a good guess.
It
though,
was, but
because that's a great filtration system.
it is. But remember what I said.
I heard, I
said,
heard.
Many people were seriously
Of
injured
course.
or killed as a result.
Uh-huh.
So they tried to filter it through, believe it or not. Oh, wait.
A straggler.
A straggler. Daniel Newf says a loaf of bread. Could people be that crazy and use a loaf of bread? Daniel is absolutely correct. A loaf of bread. They tried filtering antifreeze through a loaf of bread to get the alcohol.
People were not too bright back then.
Hey, survival of the fittest, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's why they call it Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm going to die.
Wow, Daniel, excellent. I didn't think people were going to get it. I really didn't.
Well, Alexa took a little overtime on that one.
Well, yeah, they had to do a lot of,
yeah.
you know. And Daniel goes, boom. I finally won.
Congratulations.
And we give him in a loaf of bread.
And you with it. Wonder bread. You know, it'll be stale by the time it gets to you.
That's awesome.
Wow.
There you go. Joe, you'll have that in the mail by this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people died. A lot of people went blind. All sorts of weird things were done.
Well, yeah, they're trying to extract the alcohol. People started getting the heebie-jeebies and said, you know what? I got to get my alcohol.
I got to get a fix.
I got to get my fix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even if it kills me.
Even if it
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. I like Bruce's remark. Is that where rye bread came from?
Good one, Bruce.
Excellent, Bruce. Very well done. Thank you. I love that answer. Yeah. Bruce always comes up with an interesting.
He
always comes up with
good
something.
twist on things.
He does. He does. Wow. All
All
right.
right. So that was a good one, Frank. That was.
I did okay. I did okay.
And we were almost ready to call it.
I know.
Until the baker came in.
Until the baker. Wow.
Well, that's it.
That's it, folks. Whew. Till next week.
The next week.
Till next week and Fan Appreciation Day. And it's going to be a wild one.
We're off the air for 2 weeks.
We're off
3
the air
weeks?
for, a couple of weeks.
Thank God. Thank God.
I know. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
You stress. I need to travel, go to Colorado. I need to.
You need a rest.
I need a rest.
Everybody needs a rest. It's the holiday.
Oh,
So we're ending on a pairing. I think maybe we'll be starting on a pairing next year then.
Huh? We probably are.
What's the first show? Is it going to be January 12th or 9th? January 9th?
Look at Ronnie doesn't speak tonight because he has
He's got no mic. We cut him off. We cut him off.
Yes, we cut him off. That was good.
This is what Ronnie's life has come to. He's a mute now.
So we're ending on a pairing and we're starting on a pairing.
Yes.
It's good.
Wow.
Beautiful, Joey. Hey,
Excellent.
thank you for all your hard work during the year. You've been amazing, truly. And I hope the folks
Hope the
appreciate
people at
it.
the mall appreciate them.
Yes, well,
I
they
hope so too. Yeah.
They do. I mean, the mall has never been safer under Joey's care.
Never.
Well, listen, that's the only place they'll broadcast this show is at the mall. So,
Nice.
So we've got some questions. I love the Cocoa Chemist. That's
Awesome.
Saying the Cocoa who's he? Chemist. I loved. Let me tell you, a great pairing, Joe. I'm doing something totally different than you are, and that you've done. But the Primordial Natural Toro,
Awesome.
with the soldier. The old who's a hosey wetsy soldier?
Horse shoulder.
Yes, the soldier of horses. That one.
soldier, yeah.
Yes, but we drank quite a lot because
Yes, we have.
all Zeal's house brands are just
This was
amazing.
excellent.
Just
Yeah.
I drank this with the invisible
Man.
The invisible man. Give me this bottle of something that you can't see. There it is. It says it actually
small batch.
That's a small batch.
small
E.H.
batch?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Nice.
I drank it
By yourself.
Drank it by myself. No, Bob had that.
No,
So
I
we've
had
been
some.
drinking quite a bit, and
Nice.
I can't believe I'm still operating.
And we're still drinking.
And I'm still operating. I'm operating audio equipment at the same time.
Yeah,
and no mistakes tonight either.
I didn't make any mistakes.
Nothing. I'll drink to that.
Ronnie made a ton of mistakes, but other than
Ronnie's
that,
mistake was he was on to
he
that.
was on to that. So cheers, folks. Until next week, we hope you all return. There's great giveaways and maybe even an appearance by none other than Steve Saka.
You think? I don't. Well,
that's what they've told me.
People have to tune in and see.
We got Steve Saka. We got Weller Bourbon.
We got Weller Bourbon. We got stuff. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
Well, it's a nice bottle to give away.
It
I'll tell
is.
you that because I can't find it ever.
No. So who's coming up with the Chooch questions?
Believe it or not.
Who's coming up with
It's
the
always sold
non-Chooch?
out. I can't have it.
Who's coming up?
Let Saka come up with the question.
Yeah. Okay,
there you go.
I'm going to have some interesting questions, I'm sure. I'm sure. Because it's good.
Drink. What did he say?
Drink up. Drink up.
What did he say?
Yeah. Well,
He said good night.
yes.
I said I better get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I have to break
Stick a fork in him. He's done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yes.
No, this has been a great year of pairings. We've done some excellent pairings on the show, guys. So I appreciate it.
We have. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah.
Good night, all. And we will
Night.
see everyone next
Next week
for another amazing edition of
Amazing Stories.
Amazing Stories.
See you next week.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful. I feel its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful.